Chapter 38, Clinical Cold. Everyone in the family was looking forward to the therapy session, given what they went through the previous week. First, Jenna was in with Pip. They weren't inside the room for long when Pip walked out and knocked on Blake's door. "I hope you are not busy, but I think I need you to join our session today with Jenna. I don't think I can handle it by myself anymore," said Pip, still standing. Blake was reading an article on his computer, nothing too exciting. He got up and followed Pip. "I will be just an observer," said Blake. "Hold on to that thought," said Pip, and they both joined Jenna. "Okay, tell me again, Jenna. What do you think happened to Lucille?" Pip asked. "She's dead," Jenna replied, her voice cold and devoid of emotion. "She's in a coffin, buried deep in the ground, and the worms are already feeding on her." "So you understand that she's never coming back and you'll never see her again?" Jenna's eyes darkened, her gaze unflinching. "I know how death works." "So how does that make you feel, sweetie?" asked Pip with kindness. Jenna wasn't able to answer that question. Pip continued. "Okay, it's okay. Tell me what you mean when you said you know how death works. Have you seen someone else die?" "I saw my cat die when I was small." "How did it die?" "It was an accident. Also, your daddy told me about some kittens you found in the house a while ago. How did they die, Jenna? Was it also an accident?" asked Pip. "No, I kept the pillow over them and I jumped on it with my knees until they stopped moving," responded Jenna very casually. Pip and Blake did their best to hide their surprise, but exchanged a quick look. Jenna caught that look. "Okay, thanks for your honesty. Now tell me, have you killed any other animals?" "It was Dennis's hamster. I threw it downstairs," answered Jenna with no sign of remorse. "And you saw it die?" asked Pip again. "No, not the first time. It became a little slow, like it was very old. I had to throw it 2 or maybe 3 times more until it died." "Okay, so was it before when Lucille fell down the stairs?" asked Pip again. She was getting nervous, hoping Blake would stop her if she was asking the wrong question. "Yes," responded Jenna with confidence. "Jenna, do you like killing animals? It's okay if you do, sweetie. You can tell us." "I do, but I have to hide it because Denise was crying a lot and it was so annoying." "So you knew what could have happened to Lucille if she fell?" "Yes." "Did you want Lucille to get hurt?" "Yes, I wanted her to die." "Did you push her down the stairs?" asked Pip, but Jenna shook her head. Blake got up and walked towards the door. "Okay, I think we've got enough for this session." Then he got up and murmured, "This case cannot get any more complicated." He was very wrong about that. "Walk with me, Pip," he ordered. "So I guess you didn't invite me to watch a thriller or a horror movie? You have a new diagnosis, something we anticipated." "Yeah, but this was my first solo case, and now I have to hand it back to you." "Let's put a pin in the full handoff and brief the family first. I wonder how Sam will react to this." Ben and Sam to Blake's office. "We need to talk." Blake took the lead. "Pip and I have been concerned about something for a while, and today's session with Jenna made it all too clear." He paused for emphasis before continuing. "Jenna has consistently shown signs of cruelty, anger, carelessness, selfishness, and shallow emotions. Today we discussed death and Lucille, who was one of the closest people to her. Jenna didn't seem upset," Sam interrupted. "But what if Lucille's abuse theory was true? Her death might have made her happy." Blake shook his head. "She isn't happy. If anything, she's indifferent and even a bit proud, but she shows no real emotions. She also admitted to killing several animals. For example, she practiced death by throwing her friend's hamster down the stairs. Watch how she describes it in this video." Blake played the video, leaving Ben and Sam in stunned silence. Blake continued, "As you can see, Jenna displays no remorse or empathy regarding death and pain. This isn't just an early attachment issue anymore. We're dealing with a much more serious problem: callous and unemotional syndrome." "What does that mean in plain English, Doc?" Ben asked, his voice trembling. "It means a part of Jenna's brain responsible for regulating emotions towards others hasn't developed properly. She can commit acts without feeling guilt. You saw how casually she talked about harming the hamster. Pip's eyes are still tearing up. Look at her." Everyone turned to Pip, who was visibly affected. Ben's face grew pale. "So our daughter is a sociopath?" "We don't use that term for children," Blake replied. "But if Jenna doesn't receive treatment, she's more likely to develop into a psychopath." What's the difference? Sociopaths act impulsively, whereas Jenna plans and manipulates. Sociopaths can form relationships due to some level of empathy, but Jenna doesn't make friends. Psychopathy is a more severe form of sociopathy. It was initially recommended by her school counselor, Pavlov, but we thought it was too early. However, Jenna's signs have become more pronounced over time. Ben was overwhelmed. Signs? He asked, his voice cracking. Is she like Jeffrey Dahmer? Pip intervened. Let's avoid naming names and focus on the positives. What positives? Ben demanded. The fact that Jenna has parents who care and are committed to treatment is a significant advantage. Jeffrey Dahmer and others like him often came from abusive or neglectful backgrounds. Jenna is young, smart, and we need to take immediate action. You understand? Sam, who had been unusually quiet, finally spoke up. I've already arranged for a highly qualified teacher experienced in dealing with children like Jenna. I've been waiting to see if she's interested in taking her on. The three adults stared at Sam, each surprised for different reasons. Pip was amazed because mothers usually denied the severity of the situation, which often hindered treatment. Ben was taken aback by Sam's foresight, while Blake was impressed and appreciated working with someone perceptive. Blake continued, There's one more thing you need to understand. There is no foolproof cure yet. However, studies show that only 10% of kids who receive proper treatment end up rearrested. Is that common? Ben asked, his voice shaky. More common than you might think. About 1% of the population shows psychopathic traits. Not all of them become serial killers, but we'll discuss that later. We're not starting any medication yet, but we might recommend it if she has another rage episode. The family, on the brink of collapse, left the doctor's office feeling defeated. They had exhausted their energy and resources, grappling with the devastating diagnosis of their child as a potential psychopath. With no clear path forward, they were left to consider whether exploring a holistic approach might offer any hope. After spending so much money and time, the idea of turning to alternative therapies or methods seemed both daunting and desperate, yet it was one of the few options left to them. Since Jenna was usually the last patient of the day, Blake and Pip would sit in his office and review what they had achieved. Pip was a little down. She is my first patient, and I thought we were making great progress in her therapy. What are the odds of that? Now I have to hand her over to you, said Pip, disappointed. 1 in 100 is the odds. You did a great job finding it out, and it's better than waiting until they find some human body parts in her fridge. But you know what? Ben pulled me aside today and told me he caught his wife talking to an imaginary person in the middle of the night. Apparently she was super drunk, which is very rare. What do you think he is up to? Is that the same imaginary friend they call the witch or something? Ha, no, the sorceress. He also told me to tell you that he finally met her at the funeral. How convenient after all these years. Oh, I didn't think of that. I thought he might have been the drunk one and seeing things. I don't think he is lying. He doesn't come across as a person who gets drunk and abuses his family. I mean, you can't keep a waist size like that if you drink every night. Okay, we get it. Your imaginary boyfriend is perfect. He has a good metabolism. No one's metabolism at this age is this good. Wonder if you'd like it if I said you have a secret crush on Sam and that's why you are taking her side. You can't say that because I'm your boss, and Ben might smoke crack, which keeps him fit. At least he made himself laugh. Pip shook her head in fake disappointment. They both enjoyed these standoffs.